Welcome to the AfterBurners podcast. I'm your host, Samuel Oni. This week, we'll be swapping petrol power for electricity. Get your battery packs ready as we'll be exploring last week's inaugural Extreme E race and looking forward to the Rome E-Prix this weekend. With me is Wes Spearman. Wes, how are you today?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Sam. Lovely sunny day outside again.
Yep.
Shame it's not as warm as it looks, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it was warm where Extreme E were racing this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. So today, before we start, right, I have a little something. So since we are not talking about Formula One,
A
we
bit of a change.
cannot mention the word Formula One in any way, manner, context, however you want to put it.
How's that going to work when we talk about Jensen Button and Extreme E? That's going to be tricky then.
Very, very, very. But yes, last week was the very, very first Extreme E event in Al-Ula, Saudi Arabia, in a desert setting. 9 teams, 18 drivers, male, female, and it was it was great. I mean, the whole point of Extreme E is to fight against climate change, fight against climate change into making the world a better place to live in. Where's what's your take on it?
Well, as you say, it's racing in environments damaged by climate change, global warming, and all that stuff. And obviously, this week it was desertification, spreading of basically the spreading of deserts, of fertile land becoming basically turned into sand. And racing in a desert in Saudi Arabia, I don't think you can show off a desert much more clearly than that. And the spectacle, I thought it was really good. It was really good to watch. I watched, I think it was Q2 on the train back down to Southampton where I am now. Watched what I could because obviously train Wi-Fi isn't great. But I have to say it looked really good, and the cars look great as well. And that's the drop, 100-meter drop, 45-degree angle. That I can't imagine doing that because
Yeah.
I think I can't remember who it was on comment. It might have been Jenny Gow on commentary saying, well, if for rally drivers you'd normally have a co-driver saying something like flat over crest, where the driver knows that they can just go flat out and they'll be fine. Obviously, in this they don't have a co-driver.
No.
There's 2 drivers, but they're not in the car at the same time. So you get to the top of it and you're just like, what do I do? And fair play to those drivers, all of them, for just doing that. Because I mean, who was someone who crashed there? Was it
Yeah.
Sarazan?
There were
Stefan
two.
Sarazan
Yeah.
for
Two.
Veloce,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Or
He
was it Claudia
crashed
Hergen? Yeah.
over. Yeah. Claudia Hogan of ABT Cooper. Yeah. And just a rundown of the team. So we have 9 teams and 18 drivers, male. 1 team, 1 driver male, 1 driver
Yeah.
female, each team.
Just before you carry on, so I think that is absolutely brilliant, and we should be seeing more stuff like this. I think it was Henry who said last week that there should be more representation of women in motorsport, and I think this is a fantastic initiative to do that. Because as you say, 9 teams, 9 women, 9 male drivers, and it's just brilliant. And competing on a level playing field for not the first time they've been. I can't say F1, can I? There's been
Oh, you
female
know what?
drivers in other.
No, we will allow that. We will allow that. Don't worry. We will allow that.
There's been female drivers in F1 before, but yeah, I think this is just a great opportunity to sort of level the playing field, if you like.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. So for those who don't know the teams and drivers, so just a small rundown. So the first team we have ABT Cupra XE. They were involved in motorsport they've been involved in motorsport for the last 50 years.
Yeah. Abt has been around for ages with Audi.
Yeah. Yeah. And their drivers, we have German female driver Claudia Hurtigen. She's had a lot of success as well. She even won she even won the VLN Endurance Championships in 2005.
Yeah.
The
And
first woman since the first woman since 1998 to do so.
yeah, racing for 25 years as well. I
Very
mean,
long
that
time.
that that alone is impressive. Be rated to be in any sport for that long is just amazing.
That's a very long time. And her male driving partner is Swedish driver Matthias Ekström. I hope I've said that right.
Yep. Extra.
Ekström.
Yep.
Yep, he's been with ABT for a very long time, 22
Yeah.
years. First started out in 1999, and he also became a two-time DTM driving champion.
Yep. Yep. German touring car and world rallycross champion back in
Yep,
2016.
yep,
Like
that's it.
I said to you before the Extreme E began, I thought he could be one to watch out for. Because as you
Yeah,
say, he's been driving for quite a while and in world rallycross as well, which I think, again, I can't remember who it was on commentary who said that perhaps rallycross is the most sort of comparable format to this.
yeah,
Rallycross is across dirt and tarmac. It's an actual race compared to a rally, which is done by stages and timings.
yeah. And onto our second team now. We have Acona Science Sides, an all Spanish team, all Spanish lineup, and they actually became the first team to complete rally Dakar rally racing with 100% electronic cars back in
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah, I mean, even
And
to just finish the Dakar rally is an achievement because that is the toughest rally in the world. And getting on
yeah,
to the drivers, both of whom have Dakar rally experience, Laia Sanz, 13 times trial world champion rather,
yes,
which is motorbikes. Then 10 finished the Dakar rally 10 times. That is an impressive record. Then of course
very
her
impressive.
teammate Carlos Sainz Senior, not Junior, not the one racing in F1, but
The
Carlos Sainz Senior,
legendary
yeah,
rally champion.
2-time world rally champion, also 3 times Dakar rally winner. I
Yeah,
mean, that for me is one hell of a lineup.
it's impressive,
I
isn't
mean,
it?
yeah, it's really impressive, and they did all right in the race. We'll get onto that in a bit, but I mean, just yeah, what a team.
Yep. Next we have Andretti United Extreme E.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll notice Andretti United are also be are in are being backed by McLaren CEO boss Zach Brown.
yep,
So if you'd watched the race last weekend, you may have seen him in the command center with the Andretti team, which is
yeah,
very nice. And
and yeah, Andretti's just a huge name in motorsport. Going back to Michael Andretti and then his son Mario, and it's in Extreme E. I believe it was in F1 for a bit. I can't remember if they had their own team, but it's in Formula E as well with BMW Andretti, which we'll get
yep,
on again. We'll get onto later.
yep. So for the team lineups, we have Katie Mullins. She's been driving for rally. She's been doing rally racing since for quite a while.
Quite a while again, yeah.
2016, but she's still young. She even won the European Rally Championship Ladies Trophy as well
Yeah.
at quite a young
Age
age.
just 18. Which is incredible.
She's
You know, I wasn't even, was I driving it? I don't think I was. I think I only got my license last year. So she was winning these competitions before I even started driving on the road.
wow. Yeah, it speaks for herself. It speaks for herself. And
Yeah.
just last year, she made her debut in the World Rally Championships.
Yeah. And
There's
the teammate Tim,
a lot to
yeah.
come from her.
Oh yeah. And teammate Timmy Hansen, fourth in his first year of World Rallycross, which again is impressive, and World Rallycross champion in 2019. Again, used to driving on loose surfaces, gravel, snow, mud,
Yeah,
sand. Again, another very impressive lineup.
yeah, very impressive. I think they may be the team that I'm gonna root for this series actually, because I just look at it and I just think they didn't win the
They came
inaugural.
second though.
They came second, yes,
Yeah.
but I was really excited by Katie in particular. The
Mm.
way she drove, it's just really exciting. And I think that pairing, both of them, Hansen and Munnins, they're just really good, really
Mm.
good. So moving on, we have the Hispano Salsa Lights Energy team with Christine Gamapoli Zonka, I hope I said that right, and British driver Oliver Bennett.
Yeah. Again, Oliver Bennett, rally experience with British Rallycross and World Rallycross as well. And Christine, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation as well. Gianpaola Zonka, I guess.
Yes,
Apologies, Christine. I think it might be, you never know. Again, another hugely experienced driver on loose surfaces. Won the Women's Spanish Gravel Rally Championship in 2016, seventh in the Baja 1000, which is, again, props. Yeah, another tough rally. Not quite on par with the Dakar rally, but it's certainly up there. Seventh in the Baja 1000 in 2017 and third in the Andalusia Road to Dakar rally last year. Again, all these drivers have some experience, not even whether it be on four wheels or on two, they all have experience on blue surfaces, gravel, mud, snow, sand, whatever it may be.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really good. And we move on to the first of two British British teams owned by two British F1 current or former F1 drivers. The first being JBXE, team owned by the one and only 2009 champion Jenson Button. He is partnered with Swedish driver Michaela Arlen Kutalinski. I hope I've said that right.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, close enough. If any Swedish fans out there can, help me out, and if I've said that right, then yep. Yeah, again, another good pairing. Jensen Button taking a new venture into Extreme E, and Michaela as well. Again, very exciting. I'm excited.
Yeah, perhaps these two drivers have got the least experience in the environments that they're going to be racing. Obviously, Jenson Button 2009 F1 World Championship. He's also raced in WEC, the World Endurance Championship, Le Mans, British GT, Super GT, which he won in 2018. And Michaela Arlen Kotlinski, the first and only woman to win a race in the Scandinavian Touring Car Championship. So again, they're perhaps more suited to tarmac, but having come out of that weekend, they did all right. They got awful, if I can't remember, but they seem to do well, and I think they'll get used to it. I think Jensen on right in an interview or something said, "Well, he's used to having a bit more grip than racing in the sands of Saudi Arabia." But I'm sure they'll get more
Yeah,
and more used to it as the season progresses.
yeah. Then we move on to another former F1 champion taking a venture into Extreme E by the name of Rosberg. Nico Rosberg. He has his own team with Rosberg X Racing. And this lineup, my goodness, it's a great
Yeah,
lineup. If I had, I think it's probably the best, in my opinion,
yeah,
the best
I'd probably
lineup
agree.
of the whole series, with Australian female driver Molly Taylor, another rally driver, and Swedish driver Johan Kristoffersen, which I mean, Kristoffersen, he speaks for itself. Like,
Yeah,
three-time FIA rally champion as well.
yeah,
Absolutely amazing. And also, I think Molly Taylor has quite a resume herself. I don't know what the record was, but she she is somewhat the outright rally driving champion, I think,
he's
beating all the females and all the males.
well. The notes that I've got are that she was the first female to achieve a podium in Junior World Rallycross. She
Yeah,
came third in Rally Finland a few years ago, and she won the Australian Rally Championship in 2016 with Subaru, regardless of gender. So she is
exactly.
an exciting driver, and cross the line to win the inaugural race of Rosberg X Racing. And as you
yeah,
say, what a lineup. That for me as well is probably the strongest lineup that we're going to see.
yeah. And moving on, we have oh, okay, we have Segai TV chip Genatsi Racing, an all United States team from Indiana. We have Sarah Price and Kyla Duke as the pairings for the female
Mhm.
and male driving lineups.
Yeah,
What do you make
again,
of it?
sort of that combination of two wheels and four. Sarah Price, 19 times national motocross champion. That is an incredible record. I know it's motorbikes and not cars, but regardless, it's still a hugely impressive achievement. And Carla Duke, 6 times Pro 4 championship wins, got 100 wins in the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series, and he won the Pro 4 last year. So again, sort of an informed driver, you would say.
Mm-hmm.
And again, another fairly strong partnership. It's a bit of a shame that we didn't see that much of them. I don't think of in the races last weekend.
Yeah, yeah. But there's still 4 races to go. Still 4 races to go. Anything can
Mm.
happen. Moving on to team number 8, we have Velos Velos
Veloce,
Racing. Sorry,
Veloce race.
Veloce Racing. That's it. Sorry, with Jamie Chadwick and Stefan Savezan. As you may have, if you watched it last weekend, Stefan Zarazan, the male driver, was the one that had the accident in first qualifying, I believe it was first
Yep,
qualifying
Q1.
Q1 on I don't know, I think it was I think it was before gate 5 of the qualifying, but
Mm.
he had that accident which resulted in the car was ruined, like beyond repair, and
Yeah,
they had to withdraw from the race entirely. So you didn't see them in the crazy race or the semi-final, but hopefully they will be back for the next race, Extreme
yeah.
E race.
I mean,
But
the
again,
next race is in May, so there's still obviously a lot of time, nearly 2 months until the
yeah,
next race, which is disappointing from a spectator's point of view.
mm,
But it does give the team time to get the car ready. I feel a bit sorry for Jamie Chadwick, W Series champion, and she hasn't properly driven the car yet, not in a competitive environment, just in shakedown. And it is disappointing, but these things happen in racing, and certainly in off-road racing, where there are, I would say, more hazards.
yeah,
You've got the sand, but you've also got rocks
hmm
hiding in places that you might not expect, and yeah, it's just disappointing from a spectator's point of view that they weren't able to take part this weekend.
yeah, yeah. And moving on to the last and final team of the Extreme E lineup is Lewis Hamilton's Lewis Hamilton backed team, the X44 lineup with Cristina Gutierrez, Spanish female driver, and 9-time rally rally wi- 9-time rally champion French driver Sebastien Loeb. Again, another great lineup.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw Sebastian Loeb's name on it, I was just like, "Whoa, this is going to be good." Like 9-time world rally champion, the most rally champions of anyone else, 79 WRC rally wins, multiple winner of the World Touring Car Championship and World Rallycross, combined with Cristina Gutierrez, again, another finisher of the Dakar Rally, finished it 4 times. And she came second in the mixed gender all terrain Spanish Rally Championship between 2011 and 2016. Another great driver pair. And again, they made it to the final race that became second or third. I can't quite remember. But again, another hugely strong driver lineup. And for someone like Cristina Gutierrez to be paired with the experience of Sebastian Loeb, that's going to be a great sort of learning environment for her to learn off someone who has won the World Rally Championship 9 times. I mean, you can't ask for a much better tutor than that. Not that she needs tutoring. Of course, she's got her own pedigree and experience, but to have someone like Loeb sitting in the same driver's seat. It's just an incredible experience.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with you. Like, what? I mean, all that's all the teams there. 9 teams, 18 drivers. They're all pretty good lineups, and I don't
Mm.
think there's anything left else to talk about other than the 3 races: the crazy race, the semi-final, and the final. Where to start?
Yeah. I mean, I think the racing itself, it was all right for me. But the trouble is that quite often we saw the driver who got off the line quickest often won it. Or if they got ahead into turn one first, then they create this just massive dust cloud behind them. So the drivers behind can't see. I mean, there's only 3 cars in each race as well. So just imagine if if all 9 teams were competing in the same. Imagine the dust.
That would be
There'll,
extremely
there'll be broad
difficult.
stuff, and there'll be so many accidents. And
Yeah,
I think if they want to go forward with the desert race, it perhaps needs a little bit of tweaking. Because I think the most exciting race for me was actually the shootout, the one that wasn't broadcast live between it was Chip Ganassi Racing, and I can't remember who else was racing. They might have been Hispano Tweezer. Those two was the most exciting. It didn't finish. They ended up colliding with each other, I believe, after the drop.
right.
Can't remember which turn that is, but that was the most exciting race, and 2 teams, less dust starters. I don't know why, but it just made for closer racing between the 2 teams. Obviously, there would have been a third team in Veloce or whoever would have
Yeah.
finished essentially bottom
Hmm.
in qualifying. But that was the most exciting race, and it wasn't broadcast live. I don't understand that. I don't understand it
Yeah.
at all. Why one of the races isn't broadcast live, and
Yeah.
the whole broadcast thing, it was confusing for me because it was on ITV, but only the second hour. And
Yeah, I was confused on
yeah,
that one as well. But I actually kept up. I kept up to it through everything through the BBC
yeah,
Sport Radio. I
so
think
did I.
that's where you get everything. You won't miss everything. So what do you make of the actual format of it? Not necessarily like the qualifying 1, 2, and 3, but the actual like starting grid as well, because you also get to like vote for where you want to start, where you start, and
Yeah,
also as an interactive sense of it as well, to get fans involved. You can actually vote for the team where you want to start them.
yeah.
What would you make of it?
Um, I think it's a good idea to get some sort of viewer interaction, if you like, because obviously Formula E has it with the fan boost. But to be honest, doesn't really have that much effect on the outcome of the race because usually Stoffel Van Dorn wins it, and I don't think he's won that many Formula E races. So, but again, with this grid play that they've got, I believe you can choose, as you say, choose where the car starts. So
Yeah.
you got 3, and then you got the 2 outer spots, and then the middle one. Um, and I think the teams themselves actually vote. They pour in. I saw I saw them pouring sand into another
Yeah.
team's
Yeah.
cylinder. I don't really know what's
Hmm.
going on there. But I think Andretti won it. I think that's all I know about
Yes,
that.
because I watched it as well, because I was I think Sands and Signs, it was their turn to vote, and they were just
Yeah,
saying who we gonna vote for, and I think they ended up voting for the Andretti team.
yeah,
So because I saw a lot of sand going into the
yeah. I
Andretti
saw a lot of sand in
cylinder.
the Andretti cylinder.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
how how impressed were you with Katie Munnings of Andretti, particularly
yeah,
in from qualifying up until the race? I picked her out because um she because the main thing, she suffered a puncture to one
yeah,
of the tires, but to bring it to continue driving in on that terrain and to bring it home, as well. How impressed were you with her as well?
Yeah, I mean, huge impressed, not just by her, but all the drivers
Yeah.
there. I mean, Molly Taylor as well, another one to pick out.
Oh, she
She
was
drove superb.
amazing. She was really good.
I think Michaela Arlen-Kotelinski as well, paired up with Jensen Button. I think that team dynamic worked really well.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's just hugely impressive. And 4 more races later on in the season, there's quite a gap between the races, which, as I said, isn't great from a spectator point of view. But they do have to travel. I think they've got to go through the Suez Canal, which is finally unblocked, thankfully, from Saudi Arabia to Lac Rose in Senegal. And then
Oh,
I can't remember where they go after that. It's either Greenland or Tierra del Fuego in Argentina. I think is there one in the Himalayas as well? Or that was switched out for Tierra del Fuego. I can't remember, but there's 4 more races to go, and
yeah.
yeah, there's a gap, but they've got a long way to travel.
Exactly. And yeah, I'm actually, you know what? Of the next 4 races, I'm actually looking forward to the race in the Arctic.
Yeah,
Just
I
to
think
get,
that's the one in Greenland.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
just to get that, you know, all the ice, because different settings means the cars may have to adapt differently, because racing in the woodlands is definitely going to be different from racing in the Arctic.
Mm, yeah. Mm. I think the ocean one in Lacrosse, Senegal, will be interesting because I mean, cars and water don't usually work out too well,
Mm.
whether it be electric or petrol. So again, that's going to be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah.
Because whether they'll be racing like alongside a beach or something, I don't quite know. I haven't done too much research into it, but if they're racing in sort of shallow water somewhere, then that'll be quite cool. I mean, it
Yeah.
won't be much fun for the drivers behind because they're just going to get sprayed with water. The cars,
Yeah.
much like it was with the tandem dust this round. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Whenever it is in May, back end of
In
May, I think.
May.
So
Yeah.
still quite a while to go, but
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
forward to
So
it.
a few months to go until the next Extreme E race. Excuse me. But so Extreme E, as great as it was, that's aside now. Now we move to another form of racing, and it's not Formula One. Formula One is actually the following week. So
Yeah,
F1 fans, just settle down a bit. You just have to wait another week or so. Now we move on to Formula E. Formula E is back for the first time
yeah,
since end of February, I believe.
yeah. Again, quite a while. So yeah, whenever
Yes.
we spoke to Hazel Southwell, I can't remember when that was, for seems ages ago now. Yeah, they're back in Rome for the Rome E-Prix, a double header, so back to back races again,
Yeah.
like we saw in Ardiria. Rome, one of the longer tracks on the circuit, I believe, second longest, only behind Marrakesh
Yeah.
in Morocco, 19 turns, and slightly slower track to Ardiria. Ardiria is quite fast, with several fast turns, and I believe there's a roundabout at some point in Ardiria. But this one in Rome, there's quite a few slow corners, especially towards the sort of second half of the circuit. I mean, turn 7 to 13, there's quite a few 90-degree corners,
Mm.
which is sort of what you'd expect on a street circuit with like T junctions and stuff. But again, it does look good for racing, especially with these electric cars. There's turn 18, which is, again, it looks a bit weird. It sort of sticks out from the circuit. Like, I've got it up on the screen here. It's sort of like a hairpin, I suppose, because it does
Yeah.
look like a hairpin. Um, but I don't think we'll see too many overtakes there. It's more, I reckon, turn 7 to 13, where you got the sort of back to back to back 90-degree corners, and the chicane of turn 12 and 13. I think they'll be the places to watch all the overtakes. But,
For do- yeah. For those who are just getting into Formula One, how can you explain, like, I mean, well, not explain it, but the tracks, they seem so narrow. s- Most of them are very narrow, if not all, and it can be very difficult for overtaking. Can you just explain how drivers, are able to adapt to that as well, especially with the starting grid? so narrow. It's very different from Formula One.
Yeah, I mean, the cars for starters, I don't think they're as wide as Formula One cars. And they've been racing on street circuits ever since it started. I mean, when we spoke to Hazel, she said it's good to have them in the city centres because then people can go right up to the barriers and watch rather than having them on an excluded circuit somewhere like, say, Spa, for example, which is in the woods. It's good to have them in city centres, and to be honest, it does make for really good racing. Like we saw a while back in Al-Ula, the racing there was superb. Of course, you got the little gimmick of the attack mode. I say gimmick, but the drivers have to take like a wider line, go off the racing line to take it at least twice in the race, which gives them a power boost. But that sort of evened out by the fact they have to go off the racing line in the first place. But I think it produces really good racing. We saw one of the, I suppose, all-time great overtakes in Formula E, where Eduardo Mortara overtook, I think it was Mitch Evans in the Jaguar, overtook him on the right and then switched back to go in front of, I can't remember, I think it was Evans, overtake, I think it was Pascal Wehrlein in the Porsche. To get two drivers before one corner is just an amazing move. And I think you get more overtakes in Formula E than F1, personally. I think Formula E is just great to watch.
Well, Formula E is going to just get bigger and better, isn't it?
Yeah,
bigger
agreed.
and better.
Absolutely.
And like just to also ask as well, like what are the teams to watch out for? We've mentioned a few already, and Andretti, Jaguar.
Yeah. I would say Jaguar is one to watch out for. I mean, my favourite driver, Sam Bird, moved there from Envision Virgin last year. And I think he's got the record of winning a race in every season of Formula E so far. He's been there from the start and he's won a race in every single series of Formula E. Mercedes is one to look out for. Stoffel Van Dorn, former Formula One driver. Nick De Vries, former F2 champion as well. They're really strong. And Nick De Vries won the first race in Al-Ula and then Sam Bird the second. They're a thing to watch out for. Venturi as well, using that same Mercedes powertrain. Eduardo Mortara, another solid driver in Formula E. Norman Nato, a little bit of an unknown. DS Techeetah, though, I think are the big ones for me. They've been champions, I believe, for the last 3 years with John-Eric Byrne and Antonio Felix da Costa. And they'll definitely be the team to watch out for and try and stop this year. Whoever's going to stop them, I'm not quite sure. I mean, hopefully for me, Jaguar or Envision Virgin, they're my two.
Would you rather take your drive around a F1 car in Spa, Bahrain, or or be driving one of the Formula E cars in Rome, as it's the race coming up?
Good question. Yeah. I think just for the experience, a Formula One car at Spa.
Yeah.
Just because of the speed of it. I mean, don't get me wrong; these Formula E cars are quick. But I think driving through cities doesn't compare to driving around like Silverstone or Spa or Monza or even Monaco. Monaco's a city track, and I think the Formula E do race in Monaco. They have done in the past, or they will do this year. I'm not too sure. But just that real of the out-and-out speed of a Formula One car is just paramount. I can't compare that to anything else, really. Not in motorsport.
And in fact, just before we finish up, well, I don't know what else to talk about, because we've had so much racing over the past few months from end of February when we started with Formula E up until now. We've had Bahrain, the opening F1 season, which was absolutely amazing.
Brilliant race, yeah.
Then just a week, 2 weeks later, we have the first ever Extreme E race with Rosberg Racing winning that. Nico Rosberg will be very, very, very happy.
He'll be very happy to get one up on Lewis Hamilton.
That's what. Yeah. And then we now have Formula E back again this weekend.
Yeah, this
So,
weekend, and then the following weekend we're back to F1. So loads and
oh,
loads of racing.
oh,
Even if F1's not on, they're still racing somewhere, whether it be electric or petrol. There's still some.
yeah, you can't not say, oh, there's no racing this weekend, because
No.
there is going to be racing this
Yeah,
weekend. If you're not going to watch, if you're not going to be able to watch Formula E, then there's Formula One next week in Imola. And just speaking on briefly for next week. So next week Formula One is Imola in Italy. And what are you looking forward to? I don't want to say too much in case of next week.
yeah. I mean, I'm just looking forward to seeing cars at Imola again. I think Imola is one of the all-time great tracks. I mean, perhaps one of the fastest on the calendar. And the race last year was okay. But hopefully we can see Red Bull again take that fight to Mercedes at Imola. I think Imola will perhaps suit Mercedes a bit more, being more power orientated circuit. But again, I just want to see a race like we had last week.
Yeah, yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Afterburners podcast. We have had the first Extreme E race, which was won by Rosberg Racing. And this weekend, we give you more racing. Well, when I mean we, Formula E.
Formula
Formula E
E.
give you more racing with the Rome E-Prix this weekend on the 10th and 11th. So a double header. And then there's next week with Formula One in Imola. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Afterburners podcast. I'm your host. I've been your host, Samuel Oni. And it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Wes.
Goodbye.
And we'll see you soon.